Om Shanti. This is the Sachin Murli of the 9th of October 2021. Essence. Sweet children, follow the mother and father and be seated on the heart throne. There is no difficulty in this. Simply remember the Father and become pure. Question: what advice does the Father, the Lord of the poor, give his children in order for them to create their fortune? Answer: children, Shiv Baba doesn't want anything of yours. You may eat, drink, study and refresh yourselves and leave, but remember, there is the praise of just a handful of rice. If you wish to become wealthy for 21 births, remember that 1 paisa of a poor person is equal to 100 rupees of a wealthy person. Therefore, when the Father comes here directly, use everything of yours in a worthwhile way. Song. You are the mother and the father. Om Shanti. You children understood the meaning of the song. Although those people call out, they don't understand anything. You know that He is our Father. In fact, He is not the Father of just you, but He is the Father of all. This too has to be understood. The Supreme Soul is definitely the Father of all souls. By saying Baba, Baba, you definitely remember your inheritance. It is only by remembering the Father that your sins will be absolved. The Father tells you, children, you souls have become impure. You now have to be purified. He is the Baba of everyone, and so His children should definitely be viceless. At one time, all of you were viceless. The Father Himself explains, when it was the kingdom of Sri Lakshmi and Narayan, all were viceless. All the human souls that you see there must also have been viceless, because their bodies would have been destroyed, and all the souls then went to reside in the incorporeal world. There is no name or trace of vice there. There are no bodies there. All souls come down into this world from up there in order to play their parts. The people of Bharat come first of all. In Bharat there was first the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. Those of all other religions were in the incorporeal world. At this time, all are in the corporeal world. The Father is now making you children viceless in order to make you into viceless deities. When you become deities, a new world is definitely needed for you. The old world has to be destroyed. The Mahabharat war has been portrayed in the scriptures. They show that only the 5 Pandavas remained, and that they then melted on the mountains, and so no one was left. Acha, where did all those souls go? Souls are never destroyed. So it is said that they went to the incorporeal viceless world. The Father takes you from the vicious world to the incorporeal, viceless world. You know that you definitely have to receive your inheritance from the Father. Sorrow has now increased. At this time, we want both peace and happiness. Everyone says to God, "O God, give us peace and happiness." Every human being makes effort to acquire wealth. If they have wealth, they are happy. The unlimited Father is giving you a great deal of wealth. You were so wealthy in the Golden Age. You had palaces studded with diamonds and jewels. You children know that you have come to the unlimited Father to claim your inheritance of unlimited heaven. The whole world will not come here. The Father only comes in Bharat. At this time, the people of Bharat are residents of hell, and then the Father makes them into residents of heaven. On the path of devotion, you have been remembering the Father for birth after birth because of your sorrow. O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, O Benefactor Baba, Remover of sorrow and Bestower of happiness. You remember him, and so he must definitely have come. No one remembers him for no reason. They believe that God the Father will come and give the fruit of that to the devotees. However, he gives it to everyone. He is everyone's Baba. You know that you will go to the land of happiness, and all the rest will go to the land of peace. When you are in the land of happiness, there is peace and happiness over the whole world. The Father loves his children. Children also love the mother and father. You also sing, "You are the mother and father." Even while having physical mothers and fathers, you sing, "You are the mother and father, and we receive a lot of happiness through your blessings." You do not sing this to your physical parents. Although they too make effort and look after their children, give them an inheritance and get them engaged, nevertheless, only the Parlokik mother and father gives you a great deal of happiness. You are now the adopted children of God. All others are children adopted by the devil. There are no adopted children in the Golden Age. There is nothing but happiness. There is no name or trace of sorrow. The Father says, "I have come to give you an abundance of happiness in heaven for 21 generations. You know that you are now to receive an abundance of happiness in heaven from the unlimited Father. All the bondages of sorrow are to end. In the Golden Age, you have relationships of happiness, whereas in the Iron Age, you have bondages of sorrow. The Father is taking you into relationships of happiness. He is called the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness. The Father comes and serves you children. He says, "I am your obedient servant." You have been remembering me for half the cycle. O Baba, come and give us an abundance of happiness. I have now come to give you that, and so follow Srimat. This land of death is to be destroyed and the land of immortality established. You are now listening to the story of immortality from immortal Baba in order to go to the land of immortality. No one there dies. They never use the words, so and so has died. The soul says, I will now shed this decayed body and take a new one. That is good. There are no illnesses there. There is no mention of the land of death. I have come to make you into the masters of the land of immortality. When you rule there, you do not remember anything of the land of death. You are unaware of what you will become as you continue to come down. Otherwise, you would lose your happiness. Here you have to keep the whole cycle in your intellects. Truly it was heaven, and it is now hell. This is why people call out to the Father. You souls are residents of the land of peace. You come here to play your parts. You will carry your sanskars back home with you, and you will then come from there, take new bodies and rule the kingdom. You are now being told the news of the incorporeal world, the subtle region, and the corporeal world. You won't be aware of this in the Golden Age. You will just rule the kingdom there. You also know the drama. You souls know that you are making effort for the Golden Age. You will definitely become worthy of going to heaven. You will benefit yourselves and others too. You will then continue to receive their blessings. Look at what your plan is. At this time, everyone has his or her own plan. The Father too has a plan. Those people spend millions of rupees building dams, etc. for electricity. The Father explains, all of those are the devil's plans, whereas my plan is a godly plan. Now, whose plan will be successful? Those people will fight among themselves. Everyone's plan will turn to dust. They do not establish heaven. Whatever they do, it is for sorrow. The Father's plan is to create heaven. Residents of hell make plans to stay in hell. Residents of hell make plans to stay in hell. Baba is making plans to create heaven. So you should have so much happiness. It is remembered, we receive a lot of happiness because of your mercy. You have to make effort to receive that. The Father says, you can claim whatever you want. You can become a king or queen, a master of the world, or you can become a maid or servant. It depends on how much effort you make. The Father simply says, first of all, become pure and continue to give everyone the Father's introduction. Remember Alpha, and then Beta, the kingdom is yours. It is in your remembering the Father that Maya causes many obstacles. She breaks your intellect's yoga. The Father says, the more you remember me, the more your sins will be absolved and the higher the status you will claim. This is why the ancient yoga of Bharat is very famous. The Father is also called the Liberator. The Father liberates you from sorrow for 21 births. The people of Bharat will be in the land of happiness, and all the rest will be in the land of peace. By showing them the plans of the incorporeal world and the corporeal world, they will quickly understand that those of other religions cannot go to heaven. Only deities reside in heaven. No one apart from the Father can explain this knowledge of the drama. You children come to the Father to claim your inheritance. It is only in the Golden Age that you have an abundance of happiness. Later, there is the kingdom of Ravan. There is a great deal of sorrow in that. You now understand that Baba is making you worthy of going to the land of immortality by telling you the true story. You are now performing such actions, and this is how you become wealthy for 21 births. It is said, "May you be wealthy, may you have sons." There you will definitely have one son and one daughter. May you have a long life. Your lifespans will be 150 years. There is no untimely death there. Only the Father explains this. You have been calling out to me for half the cycle. Would sannyasis say this? What would they know? The Father sits here and explains to you with so much love. Children, if you remain pure for this one birth, you will become the masters of the pure world for 21 births. There is happiness in purity. You belonged to the pure deity religion and have now become impure and are experiencing sorrow. You were viceless when you were in heaven. Now, by becoming vicious, you have become unhappy in hell. The Father inspires you to make effort. Become emperors and empresses of heaven. Your Mama and Baba become this, and so you too should make effort for this. There is nothing in this to be confused about. The Father doesn't even allow anyone to fall at his feet. The Father explains, "I gave you golden palaces studded with diamonds and made you into the masters of heaven. Then you continued to rub your heads on the path of devotion and also gave money for half the cycle. Where did all those golden palaces studded with diamonds go? You came down from heaven and have now reached hell. I am now once again taking you to heaven. I don't give you any difficulty. Simply remember me and become pure. You don't have to give even a penny. Just eat, drink, study and become refreshed and go back home. Baba simply teaches you. He doesn't take any fees for teaching you. You say, Baba, I will definitely give you something. How else would I receive palaces there? On the path of devotion, people donate to the poor in the name of God. God would give them the fruit of that. The poor wouldn't do that. However, they receive the return of that for just one birth. Baba, you have now come here directly. I give you a little money and you give us the return of that in heaven for 21 births. The Father makes everyone wealthy. You give money and so buildings are constructed to accommodate you. How else would they be built? Only the children build these buildings, etc. Shiv Baba says, I am not going to live in them. Shiv Baba is the incorporeal bestower. You give to him, and so he gives you the fruit of that for 21 births. I do not enter your heaven. I have to come into hell in order to remove you from hell. Your gurus trap you in the bog even more. They do not grant salvation. The Father has come to take you to the pure world. So, why do you not remember such a Father? The Father says, don't give money, simply remember me and your sins will be absolved and you will come to me. You children have had these buildings built for yourselves. There is the memorial of a handful of rice. The poor receive the return of whatever they give according to their courage. Whatever status the wealthy receive, the poor also receive the same. The two are equal. If a poor person gives 1 rupee out of the 100 rupees he has, and a wealthy person who has a lot of money gives 100 rupees, both receive the same fruit. This is why the Father is called the Lord of the Poor. Bharat is the poorest of all. I come and make it wealthy. Donations are made to the poor. Baba explains to you so clearly. Children, death is just ahead. Now do everything quickly. Increase the speed of remembrance. The more you remember the most sweet Father, the more inheritance you will receive, and the wealthier you will become. The Father doesn't tell you to bow down or to go to fairs, etc. No. Remember the Father and your inheritance while sitting at home. That is all. The Father is a point. He is called the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. He is the Supreme Soul. He is the highest of all. The Father says, I am a point, and you are also points. It is just that those on the path of devotion have made a huge form to represent me. How could a point be worshipped? He is called Shiv Baba. Who said this? You now say that Shiv Baba is giving you your inheritance. It is a wonder. The cycle of 84 births continues to turn. You have received this inheritance many times, and you will continue to receive it. The Father sits here and explains to you so nicely. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, BaapDada. The spiritual Father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual Father. Essence Vedana 1. Death is just ahead. Therefore, now increase the speed of your remembrance. make full effort to claim a high status in the golden aged world. 2. Bring benefit to yourself and others and receive blessings. In order to go to the pure world, you definitely have to become pure. Blessing. May you die alive and gain victory over your physical senses with the awareness of your new life. You children have completely died alive and cannot be attracted by the physical senses. To die alive means that you have died to everything and that your old life has finished. Since you have taken a new birth, how could you be influenced by physical senses in your new birth and new life? In your new life of a Brahma Kumar or Kumari, you are completely beyond the knowledge of what it means to be influenced by the physical senses. Do not let even the slightest breath, that is, any sanskar of a Shudra, be stuck to you even slightly. Slogan: merge God's love in your heart at Amrit Vela, and no other love will attract you. Om Shanti.